We're drunk talking about comic books. This is the best day of my fucking life.
That's how it is. Here we go. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune. I watch the pen move to shape the breakthrough. Who makes moves, maneuver in the right direction? The rest of you get left behind and messed up in this session. I'm not trying to make a difference. Maybe some pocket.
Welcome to Drunkcast Live.
Yeah.
Episode 233 now.
Okay.
Drunkcast Style. I'm Travis.
I'm Dylan.
We're a podcast that takes place in Austin, Texas. Don's Depot in Austin, Texas. We like to have some drinks and talk to interesting people about things that have happened over the week. Nothing serious, though. And we never say Trump. We never say the word Trump. Ever, ever, ever. This week, we're lucky to have Pat Dean.
Hello.
Still the most dangerous comedian in
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Do you know that, so Donald Trump, the president, that's the same Donald Trump from reality TV.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
That's why I thought he looked really fucking familiar. That's why I voted for him. I was like,
You know
he looked like that guy.
What's kind of weird is that if you think about it, like I feel like if
And
I
I
went back in time, you know, like 15 years ago, and I saw me, and I was like, this Donald Trump guy, like he's going to be the president. I'd be like, holy shit, I love that guy. I watched the show.
He's hilarious.
That rules.
He fires people.
Nope.
Home Alone 2.
doesn't work out.
Doesn't work out. It doesn't translate.
No, unfortunately. But what can you do?
This is your first time on the show, so I have to ask you three
Yes.
questions. First question is, what are you drinking?
Drinking an ice cold Lone Star beer, my friends.
Lone Star beer. Is that you? So I saw you drinking another beer earlier, and you had a shot. What was
Yes.
that? What was the shot before?
Well whiskey, and
So what is a well whiskey? It's not Tully here. Well, whatever.
I'd never heard of it.
Good.
I love it when I go to a bar and I'm like, oh, just well whiskey's fine. So I
Yeah.
just shoot it. And then like I see them pour it, I look at the bottle, and I'm like, never even heard of that. Like I love that shit.
Little old Hensley.
Yeah, that's how I know I'm gonna have an interesting night when I'm
Sure.
drinking whiskey that I didn't know existed until half a second ago.
Come with a squeeze tube.
A pump.
Yeah.
Oh no, it better not.
Why Lone Star?
I love Lone Star, man. Like
Yeah.
my go-to beer back home in Virginia was always PBR because it was back in the day, back when I was in college. Like you could get I started drinking it then. You get a 12-pack for like $6. It was fucking
PBR instead
great.
of Yingling? Are you crazy?
Yingling?
Come on, Yingling's way better than PBR.
No, it's not.
What is?
Yingling is for cowards. Yingling is for people. Oh, I'm gonna have a Yingling. I'm interesting. No, you're not. The beer blows.
PBR is the hipster beer, though.
It wasn't back. Well, no, it was back in the day. It's a hipster beer. But you know what's a hipster band? Arcade Fire. I like them.
Okay.
They make good stuff.
Okay,
I enjoy
yeah.
it.
Okay,
Like my
okay.
thing with PBR is always like my thing with beer for the most part is just get it in me. I don't care.
Yeah, I drink Lone Star for the same reason.
Yeah, dude. And when we moved here, we found out very quickly that Lone Star was kind of the go-to. I legitimately enjoy it. I like the taste of a crisp Lone Star.
I do too. There's some apple in there.
There's a little bit of apple. But it's made with one important ingredient. and
Beer?
That's love.
Love, yeah. I was hoping it was love.
Made with love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't read the rest of the ingredients.
No.
It's way on the bottom.
Yeah.
I think.
Unfortunately. What are you drinking, sir?
It's water right now. I'm waiting for a Lone Star. Yeah. Well, it's water because I don't have a Lone Star in front of me.
Oh, fair enough.
Same
What are
on the way.
you drinking?
I'm drinking vodka.
Vodka. This guy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
him.
That's all I do.
Yeah, it's his vodka. He's a vodka
Really?
king.
Yeah.
I need to make the switch because I have diabetes, and like I'm technically not supposed to drink beer
Or eat pizza.
or eat pizza, and I'm doing both tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a
You
lot
have
of
an insulin shot somewhere?
I don't have a lot of impulse control, which is probably why I have diabetes. But yeah, so but like whiskey and like liquor isn't bad for diabetics. I read.
No. Yeah, no, it's fine.
I read that.
It's better than beer, I guess.
I read on the website, and I never bothered to check up on it.
Oh,
I
no.
just took it for granted.
Why waste the time? Trump's president.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only 3 more years left in the United States.
Well,
We'll be done soon.
hey
So,
man,
drink up.
Thank God.
Yeah, we're going down swinging though.
Second question is, what is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal would be a bird that thought it could enter a house, but instead smashed into a door, a clear
Like just over
door.
and over again?
Yeah, and died.
Okay. I was hoping it was clear at least.
Yeah, dead.
Not just like,
Oh no, not
I'm
a,
calling.
not a bird that thought it was committing suicide. A bird that thought it saw an escape but found death. It's my goddamn spirit animal, my friends.
No, that's not deep at all. We won't unpack that at all.
No, what's to possibly unpack from that statement? You know, I'm just a well-adjusted, cool American boy. Oh, sorry about it.
Third question is supposed to be unique to you. Hopefully, once you become rich and famous, you'll never hear this question again. What do you think about people who collect bottle caps?
collect bottle caps?
Yeah, especially for Lone Star, since Lone Star has the pictographs on it. Like,
At least with the Lone Star, it's like if you can look. Well, I used to do
Snapple.
that. I had
Snapple caps.
Snapple caps. I had. I used to have a big old jug of Lone Star caps that I would keep. But then, like one day, I looked at it and I was like, I have been collecting these for about a month. I haven't looked at a
Any of them?
single one, so just got rid of it.
yeah,
I don't know. People who obsessively collect things, there's clearly some sort of OCD at the minimal, and at the worst, some sort of odd trauma that they're trying to
unresolved for sure.
Yeah, and so
Huge
to
fans of Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Really.
So to answer
If
your
they can only find Scientology, they'd be okay.
then we'd all be okay. So to answer your question, people who collect bottle caps, I think they're fucking assholes.
There we go. Yeah, we finally made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And if you collect bottle caps, I'll kill you. All right?
That's a shot over the bow, guys. All right.
Look.
He's serious. I've never seen anyone this furious.
He's dangerous. We've established this.
Also, those dangerous guys. Tweet me at Pat Dean. If you collect bottle caps, tweet me, and I'll find you and I'll kill you. All right?
Then that's a Pat Dean
And
promise.
if that's a promise, and if I'm unsuccessful in that endeavor, then we'll be friends. That's
you
how
go.
I make my friends. My friends are all
if they
people.
can best
By death
you,
threats?
If they can best you in a okay.
Any hand-to-hand combat.
My
Twin
fr-
Twitter threats. Yeah.
My friends are all people that I've tried to murder and failed, and then we became good friends.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
probably some people you've had on this podcast before.
That's why you're so dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm lightning
It-
quick.
Some Thunderdome style shit right there.
I got a left hand. I got a right hand. So
What are the name of your fists?
oh, Mac and Donald. Those are my two. Just big fast food fan over here. Just really love it. So what happens is I always they're called that because I tell people that I threaten to meet me at McDonald's. They meet me. We fight. I've lost every fight I've ever been in. So then we become friends, and then I buy a McDonald's. So
Are you
then-
ever going to snap
That
these?
explains the diabetes.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of things explain it.
That's your violence. Hey, if you just
Yes.
if you just step back from the whole collection thing, especially the collecting bottle caps, you might not have diabetes anymore.
But it's
No, I'm-
infuriating. What are you doing with these bottle caps? You creep.
Eat them.
Eat them.
Yeah.
You can hang 'em on the wall.
No
you
carbs.
asshole.
There's no carbs in them.
Do you collect things?
No, not really.
Okay.
And when I was younger, I did.
Like what?
Well, when I was really young, I collected like notes and stuff from girls because
Is that really collecting?
Gotta
Or
have
just
proof.
mementos?
well, it was mementos, but it was a lot of them. So
Oh, okay.
Ninja Turtle stuff for sure. I still have a collection of Ninja Turtle stuff, but nothing like. Well, I guess I keep coins. I don't have a collection of coins, but I'm like, hey, this is cool. Like I always have a gold coin in my pocket.
So you just have money.
Like, well, yeah, I mean, but like they're like, oh, hey, it's a
Sacagawea?
It's a yen.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll have a yen and like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Huh.
I'll put it in my little box. So I have a box of or $2 bills or
Yeah.
I mean, I have $170 worth of gold coins. Because when she was working downtown, when my wife was working downtown.
Oh, the parking.
Yeah. Well, she like when she get money and you get the thing or whatever, and she bring home the coins because I like collecting them. But it's like, I just wanted to be a pirate. You know, I wanted to have a bag of doubloons.
Who is this? Your wife?
Yeah.
Do you remember when people said, my wife? Remember that? Borat?
yeah.
So I was working at the Silver Diner, Scenic Tyson's Corner, Virginia. You probably heard of it.
All right.
I worked at this fucking diner, right? And we had a lot of people from overseas who worked there. A lot of people from Ethiopia, a lot of people from Eastern Europe, and we had a lot of people from Kazakhstan.
Okay.
And this was when the Borat movie had just come out.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
good
what's
God.
so fucking funny is that no one from Kazakhstan looks like that.
No.
But we don't know that. And it's such a big country. It's so funny. Like, we know nothing about it.
No.
It's like a lot of them like looked kind of Asian. Like, it was really interesting. And so it was so funny because like they had no idea who this Borat guy was. They just didn't know.
Yeah.
And so I always
Who's doing
knew.
a documentary about him? Yeah.
Yeah, and they looked. It was very interesting because people all the time would be like, "Where the hell are you from?" Because they kind of sound almost Russian a little bit, but they look Asian. So you're like, so to us, we're like, "What?" Like we just don't understand shit like that. You know what I mean? So I would walk by tables and I could tell that they were asking about that. Because I'd walk by a table and they'd be kind of just smiling at the customers. The customer would be like, "Yeah," and then he's just like, "My wife," and I would just laugh because like the Kazakhs people were just
So
like,
shitty.
"Oh, okay." Like they didn't really know what
Yeah.
anyone was saying. They ruled, man. They were nice. They were nice people, and I'm sure they saw a documentary and they were like, "Oh God."
Well, didn't Kazakhstan sue him for
I believe they did.
Yeah, they were-
because
Yeah.
for people who have not seen the movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler
there
alert.
was some
Spoilers.
unrest at a political level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the nation said, we're not really happy with this.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like he basically made them all sound like their version of rednecks or whatever.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, like they always fuck their sisters and
Yeah.
like, be pieces of shit or
They,
whatever.
they
you know?
sued him. I don't believe anything happened with it because how could it? But like
Yeah.
they were unhappy. But I've had a lot of people say recently that like they're like I've had see a lot of people on Twitter be like, you know what? Watch Borat the other day. Fucking holds up. I bet it's great. I bet it's still hilarious. I haven't seen it in over a decade probably at this point, but I guarantee you if I watched it tonight, I might watch. I'm gonna watch
You
Borat
should watch that tonight. Yeah, right after this.
I bet it's still great. I bet it's amazing.
It's still funny. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
nuts in your chin. Still
Nuts
funny.
on the chin. He said the F word.
Pamela.
Do you not cuss?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't see the. No, I cuss. No, I
Well, it's like the 5th or 6th time that you've said like F word or
Oh,
a-hole.
that's
or-
just that.
Is
I
that,
think
is that
is
a P.A.T thing?
Yeah, I think that's a lot more funnier
It is. Yeah.
than to like instead of like the thing that I've seen people do a lot over the past year and that I really enjoy doing is when instead of saying suck a dick, you say S a D. It's just so much more funny because you're being clean, but also like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just really gross.
Well, you're making like there's that Louis bit. It's like, well, you're making the other person do all the work.
Oh yeah.
You're
Well,
like making them think of like, what is the S? Okay, so
Yeah.
suck a dick. Wait, I said it to myself.
it's great.
Yeah.
I love shit like that. It's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Borat.
Borat.
Guys, look,
The best and Borat right next to each other. That's exactly what we want to. I mean,
folks, if you have never checked out Borat, check it out. It's funny.
like a stamp sound effect.
Chunk chunk.
Yeah.
That's my sound effect.
Don't do that. That's Law and Order.
Oh yeah, they might kill us,
They will kill us.
They will.
and then they'll solve the case too. Because
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
good. They're good at
But
their job.
we don't kill
Rip
them.
from the headlines.
Right. Kind of real story. Let's take our first break. We'll come back with more show.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
Sexual assaults. You know, like
The follow-up question is then like you ask them, so are you good?
What a nice mood, a bam boom rock. We're here to rock you. It's like, damn, what a vibe. Woo.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Yeah, segment 2, the Double
Yes.
Deuce. Still hanging out with Dylan. Still hanging out with Pat Dean.
yes.
This show is really just kind of like whatever we want to talk about. I was complaining earlier about the Defenders, and I'd really like to not talk about Defenders again if I don't have to. But if you
No,
haven't seen it, if you're interested, that's
bring it, Mr.
That's
Dean.
like basically our
Bring it.
wheelhouse is talking about Marvel.
I
Marvel
watched the
stuff, so-
entire thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what'd you think?
There's the problem with these Marvel.
Iron Fist sucks. We all agree. Yeah.
Okay. Iron Fist is such a great character, and they just ruined it.
They've ruined it. Yeah,
They ruined him.
they ruined him.
But I like that. The thing about Iron Fist is that in this fucking series, the Iron Fist series, you're never. They don't do a very good job of establishing if he's supposed to be a dummy. And then in the Defenders, they actually do a good job being like, oh no, he's just kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Brash.
So they got that part
ignorant.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd because like
But it
there's
was funny. It used to be funny and ignorant. You know, like
it's Iron Fist. Why does Iron Fist lose every fight in that series? He loses every
Every fight.
He's
He's
the Iron Fist.
he's supposed to be ostensibly the best martial artist in the world.
yeah.
And he lost to Daredevil,
He
who
got
got
beat up-
some ninja training.
He got beat up by a blind lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, cite me a statute, you fucking asshole. Like, fuck off. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
So-
my favorite scene is when they went to his company and they're like, hey, I need some corporate records. I'm going to hack this system. You can get that for me, right? Like really.
It's
like
just-
random secretary is
Yeah.
hacks to Gibson and says, oh, here's where the address is, the secret there.
Pat Dean, do you like any of the Marvel Netflix shows?
I really enjoyed Daredevil season 1.
Yes.
I greatly enjoyed.
D'Onofrio, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
he's
yeah.
great. And
Fucking
I enjoyed a little bit of season 2. I really liked Jessica Jones.
Yep.
That's about it.
Jessica
Everything
Jones
else
is
they
great.
put
Everything
out
I
is
think we all
bad.
agree on that. Yeah.
The problem is that Oh, god damn it. Okay, here's the deal with these fucking shows. I'll watch all of them.
Here's the deal with Pat Dean.
I know, yeah. Hey, welcome back to Here's the Deal. I am a Nutsack in the Morning, 96.7 WPAT FM. Big nuts in your mouth. So, fucking, the problem with these goddamn shows is that they will, every like 3 episodes, something really cool happens. Like, remember in
Yeah.
Defenders,
Yeah.
that fight that happens in Rand Industries, where
Yeah.
they all come in the first time, and you're
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this is like pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there's 3 episodes of shit, and you're
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not going to watch this anymore. And then one cool thing happens, you're like, oh, I'll stay with it.
Yeah.
Why don't you just do that the whole time?
Yeah. Our buddy Chris Lloyd believes that Netflix everything. Everything except for BoJack Horseman, I guess. Everything is like they put a lot of money in the first season, and they just kind of coast it all the way
It's
through.
weird, man.
I don't like it.
And what?
Because
So,
Jessica Jones is great, and I want to be excited about the second season. And I'm like, I want to get excited about a Punisher series.
yeah,
But
I'm
like,
not.
Yeah. Punisher's a really interesting character too. Like, can do it really well. But
Yeah, but
They did in the Tom Jane movie.
right.
It's just the thing about these series is that, like, man, I was saying this to my buddy the other day. I'm sick of ninjas. I've had it.
Yeah.
I've had it.
Yeah.
They suck so bad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, one dude against 9 ninjas. He's
Right.
gonna kill all of them.
Yeah.
They suck.
Yeah.
And if 8-year-old me could hear me now, he'd be sad as hell for a lot of reasons.
Of course.
Mostly the diabetes, probably, but also because of
The
I just
ninjas for sure.
it's like, and the problem with Daredevil, even with Daredevil season 1, like kind of halfway through, they started introducing all this weird stuff with the hand, all these weird ninjas, and you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
It happened with
No hand, please.
I'm a big comic book guy. I've stopped reading pretty much all the superhero comics, to be honest with you. But for back in the day, I would read like Brian Bendis had this weird 12-issue thing. So what's the Avengers, right? Iron Man, Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, all these cool dudes. They go to Japan and they fight ninjas. You're Iron Man. Why are you fighting ninjas?
Yeah.
You can shoot laser beams. Why are you
Ninjas
fighting
can't do that.
ninjas? Dudes who are like,
I want to throw a star at your iron suit.
yeah, dudes who can do karate chops and like they're kind of silent. Like, oh great, you have sonar in your machine, you idiot. So I've just become really sick of ninjas, and it seems like the Marvel series, everything they do is they fight ninjas.
The ninjas are like the zombies.
Yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah,
It fucking sucks, and it sucks because like there's so many cool characters. That guy who played Luke Cage, I think rules, man. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
I didn't like his series. He's so good in that role. Like
Yeah.
he looks unbreakable. Like when you see him in that show, you're like, oh man, you look like you can't be hurt. And then he fights Elektra, and she hits him with his sai, he's just knocked out. Like, how does this make any sense?
Kicked in the face.
Kicked in the face, knocked out.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I can withstand bullets, but kicked in the face.
Yeah, the
oof.
Iron Fist punches me, and I go, "Oh, that kind of hurt." Then
Or
electric.
he knocked across, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. And then, kicks him in the head.
It made no sense.
To the bullets. The bullets is the
Yeah, he stops bullets.
That's
but,
the
yeah.
thing that frustrates me the fucking most, especially because there's a scene in the fucking Defenders where the cops show up after they're like, no spoilers or whatever. Cops show up and
Very
he's there
strange, yeah.
and they have guns and he's standing up. The thing is that during his series, like during his own individual series, they bring up the point that there's a special bullet that only one person has until they sell it to the cops because it's cheaper now. So all the cops should have those fucking special bullets that will kill him at any time.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
He's
you're-
not bulletproof
But you're
anymore.
assuming that people who actually watched all of Luke Cage.
That's true.
Yeah.
yeah, I watched like the first 3. I liked all the actors in it.
Yeah.
But it was just
Yeah. They just didn't have a D'Onofrio and Tenet. Like you can't have.
Yeah.
Can't have,
he was so good.
He's fucking great.
And
As the
I
Purple
thought
Man.
And there was-
Sigourney Weaver was fucking fantastic. And
Yeah.
this is-
I felt like she was phoning it in a little bit, but like at least a little bit more compelling than the fucking ninjas every fucking week.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
will
like
say,
Madame Gao or like,
with-
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
with Sigourney Weaver in that show. It's interesting because she's a really great actress, and like it comes across that like you watch her and you're like, oh wow, you're like really good at this. But then there's like a scene where she has to do like martial arts, and you're like, oh, never
I
mind.
don't even remember that.
Yeah,
There's
there's-
only like 1 or 2, but they're short.
Oh man, I completely turned it out.
When Elektra is first birthed or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. To teach her the
Yeah.
internal
Hugs her
world.
into submission with love, and
And it's weird
Yeah.
because
and a
like
keto.
because I remember watching like Kill Bill, and like Uma Thurman clearly doesn't know martial arts, but she sold it well. It's not like it's not like it's impossible for great actors or actresses to do it. She just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I was looking up the actor who plays Danny Rand because he's Finn Jones. Like,
Finn Jones.
Same fucking problem but he doesn't sell it well.
No, he
That's his
does
big
not.
He's
fucking
bad
problem.
at it, dude.
They never taught him martial arts.
No.
They taught him the choreography before the scenes. Like that's not the way you're supposed to fucking do this. So we were talking about before, basically before show, about one of the things about Defenders that's so crazy is that once Finn Jones gets on screen, it takes the entire scene and just brings it down this
Yeah.
fucking huge chunk.
Like I really felt like my attention and my genuine love for what they were trying to do, like just sucked out of my eyeballs. Like, oh, can I like just go to anything else happening on screen except him?
Anything else, yeah.
Yeah,
And then then if something else would happen, like, oh, okay, I'm back now.
There's a really great series of Iron Fist written by Ed Brubaker and Matt Fraction, and it's great.
Oh, Matt Fraction's fucking great.
It's like they basically reintroduce him into the Marvel universe for the most part. And it's really good. It's a great comic. The martial arts in it is great. Like everything about it is cool. That's when I fell in love with that character because I didn't know that much about him. And then I read that and I was like, well, this is amazing. So I really liked the character and like his mythology is so batshit insane and cool.
Yeah.
And they just ignore all of it.
Yeah.
And they just have some creep from Game of Thrones.
Because didn't he like in the comics like the dragon heart? Didn't he like have to hug it or something? He didn't have to punch it.
Let me tell you,
Please.
how cool this backstory is. He's just some fucking kid whose dad is obsessed with this city that appears every 9 years on the planet.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, what's this about? Both his parents die. They're eaten by... One of them falls down a cliff. The other is eaten by wolves alive.
Holy shit.
Danny Rand escapes, finds the city
Yeah.
as his little kid.
Yeah.
They didn't cover any of this.
No.
No. This is the
Why would they? It's really cool and interesting. Why would they put it in there?
Right.
So,
It's just like Arrow style plane crash, and they're like, fuck it. Yeah.
by the way, did you notice this? Me and my roommate noticed this when we were watching the series. There's one episode where, like, in the span of 5 minutes, he says, "My parents died in a plane crash," like 5 times.
Yes.
So you're like,
Yes.
well, what is this?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
So, anyways,
Why was the editing so bad?
so he's raised in this weird, mystical city filled with these weird, otherworldly aliens, essentially. And he just learns, like, kung fu.
all the kung fu.
Learns it all.
Yeah.
He fights a fucking dragon named Cholok the Undying. He fights it,
Yeah.
and the way he kills it is he chokes it to death
Right.
by hugging it like that. He kills it, and then he plunges his fists into its molten heart,
Yeah.
which exists outside of his body.
Right.
How do you fuck that up?
Yeah.
That's the coolest
It's
thing
the
I've ever heard in
coolest
my life.
fucking thing, yeah.
But
Yeah.
what's so
He
great...
grappled a dragon to almost to death and then killed it by punching its
It's
molten heart.
incredible.
It's incredible.
It's so nuts.
yeah.
And then
they brought it down to like I punched it once with one hand. That's the only reason why this hand works.
It sucks.
Ugh.
And
Yeah,
like in the comic,
They really fucked that one up, didn't they?
and they kind of mention a little bit in this series where like they showed like footage from like an earlier Iron Fist who can like do all kinds of crazy stuff with the Iron Fist, and he's like, "Woohoo! I don't get it." So basically, he's just the worst Iron Fist there's ever been,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
But the Ed Brubaker, I don't want to spoil it. The Ed Brubaker series that they do, it has one of the coolest characters in comics. This guy named Orson. It doesn't matter. Just check it out. It's very, very good.
Ed Brubaker and Matt Fractions, right? What's your favorite Matt Fractions?
Man, probably that Iron Fist, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a really incredible storyteller. The kind of the comics, the Casanova Quinn series was really good. His Thor was good. He's just he's a great comic book writer. There's I don't read any superhero stuff anymore. What's so
what do you read
cool
instead?
about comics now is that there's such like a renaissance now of great like writers and great artists teaming together that like it used to be like the 90s it was all about the art. It was all about like how cool Spawn looked.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Frank Miller and all that.
Yeah. Frank Miller and
Which
fucking,
led to fucking what's his name? Who the guy who couldn't draw feet?
Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld.
I'm
yeah.
obsessed with him. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with the fact that he can't draw feet.
Yeah.
There's this writer. It doesn't matter. He's an artist who can't draw feet. Google it. It's really strange.
Have you heard
he
of that?
made a lot of money not being able to draw feet. But anyway, so there's so many great writers now that like there's no reason to read superhero stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all the best writers are doing independent things. So Southern Bastards is incredible. Jason Aaron. The only thing that I read superhero wise now is by Jason Aaron. He does he's done a run on Thor that's really great. Southern Bastards is incredible. What's his name? Brian K. Vaughan has a series called Saga that's incredible.
Saga's great, yeah.
There's just so many great things being published now that are not. That's a little bit
Superhero, yeah.
Yeah, that's more grounded in like in actual human emotions, interactions, and stuff. It's so cool.
It's frustrating.
God, we were drunk talking about comics. This is the best day of my fucking life.
Oh, we only have 2 more segments to go.
Yikes! Let's keep doing it.
Let's take a break and we'll come back and
Motherfuckers.
do it again.
Yes, please.
Dusty bricks, bitters, mix, bitter caps,
Yeah, I can't wait to read this.
bitter trash. Shit, I got to get to where I'm going on this fortified train.
Welcome back to the show, buddy. Yeah. Segment 3.
And don't Iron Fist me, sir.
Fighting 3. Oh, we did. Sorry.
Put that thing down.
Sorry, it's all this chi I have in me.
Yeah,
I'm all alone, sir.
You're really focusing on your chi.
Pat, what's been interesting for you, or to you this week?
In terms of
Anything.
Anything.
What would have been what's been scratching your noggin about, or
Well,
something you've been consuming?
Grinding your gears.
grinding-
Grinding.
years.
Well, I took a nap earlier. That was pretty tight.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No, the opposite of tight. Something that
Man, you know, my thing with like current events is whenever I look at them, I just get annoyed. So I try not, because every news story is, hey, here's more information about someone you hate doing something you think is dumb. And you go, oh, great. Yeah, I can't wait to read this.
That's not just politics. You mean everything?
Mostly politics.
Oh,
Like-
mostly politics,
yeah, dude, it's weird because like I feel like with the election that happened, it was genuinely interesting to me. In like years past, like the elections, there wasn't a real story to it. You were just like, well, this is just a thing. But like there was like a narrative to this one. It was interesting because everyone assumed he was going to lose. So I was like, this is a cool story that I'm reading,
Yeah.
and then like became reality, and you were like, oh right, this
is
oh,
real. This is
right.
real life. Yeah,
Damn it, yeah. So it's like
Mandela effect.
yeah, so it's just weird. Like so I'll still read like news articles about just weird things that our president is doing. But I mean, it's crazy. There's just way too much weird stuff. What do we do about it?
Nothing.
Who do we
Vote.
talk to?
We podcast.
Yeah.
We podcast.
Yeah. And we
That's
We
our
drink a
then we
lot.
get excited about Thor Ragnarok.
That's
Yeah,
our
basically-
resistance.
That's all we can do.
Are we
yeah.
excited about Thor Ragnarok?
I am. Yeah.
You're not excited about it?
It was like fun. He has oversensitive eyes for
Well,
CG.
the problem is, first of all, Thor, then the movie Thor, then the sequel to the movie Thor,
Oh,
all the Thor appearances. The best Thor is basically when South Park made fun of Thor.
Sure.
I haven't rewatched any of the Thor movies, so I can't comment. But I bet they kind of blow a little bit, right? They're no good.
The first one had a lot of studio interference, and it shows. It's very obvious if you
Kenneth Branagh.
No, well, yeah,
What the fuck? That's so weird.
It's so
it was weird to begin with, and apparently,
Yeah.
whatever he did, his name was only on the title card because of logistical, legal reasons. What
Oh,
happened
they
was
changed a lot?
what happened was not his movie. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, come on, the dude won like 5 Academy Awards for doing Shakespeare in full-length versions.
It doesn't necessarily mean that a person doesn't have a day off. You know.
No, I'm
or-
saying, but the man knows how to make a movie.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck Shakespeare. I'm so sick of this guy. Oh, let's just do the same thing. By the way, how many of his all his plays? How many can you name?
Only one. Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah. It's
But that's not even a play. I mean, like, how many of his fucking works are you like, oh, yeah, I know a lot about that? 3? What is it, Macbeth?
Probably 3.
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Yeah, that's his best work
That's
by
his
far.
best work.
By far.
I'm just saying.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he did invent like half the words in the English language.
yeah, sure. Sure.
Whatever.
a couple.
He wrote them down.
He's overrated. Yeah.
No. Actually, I'm a great admirer of Shakespeare. I was just kidding. But my point is that
Well, he is listening, so it's good you retract that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
good
he's
thing.
still alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
he books Cap City now, so I have to be nicer. No, it's just,
I
you
thought he had
know,
open mics under a pseudonym. Yeah.
Shakespeare, I'm just sick of him. I'm just sick of hearing about Shakespeare.
All right.
We
So
need
Thor
something new.
Ragnarok is
does
it
have a
because the sequel, the second Thor was shit. So
The Dark World.
I remember thinking it was kind
but
of
come on,
odd. I don't
it
remember.
had Chuck, but he was blonde now.
oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
And then he
In
kind
pog
of
form,
disappeared for no reason, and then showed up again for no reason. And
yeah.
it's a shitty movie.
yeah.
But that,
It's really a shitty movie.
yeah, but I don't know, man. That Ragnarok looks pretty tight.
Well, because he has a haircut. Does that makes him a better
No,
Thor?
It looks
or-
like fun. It
Oh.
looks like they're remembering how to have fun.
Dude,
okay.
he's a gladiator on a distant planet fighting the Incredible Hulk. What is there not to like about this?
At least that scene will be fun.
At least, okay, I will say this though.
Ruffalo for one.
Yeah, he didn't like Ruffalo
Yeah.
either.
I will say
He's one of
this.
these anti-Ruffalo guys.
I will
Yeah.
say this. It looks
And
like
Norton.
a lot of this movie. So somehow he loses his hammer, Mjolnir.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, well,
How? And
yeah.
yeah.
The thing that
Who has it?
that annoys me about these movies is when it's like, okay, so this movie is, there's Superman, right? But he loses his powers.
Yeah.
And like, well, okay. It's like, yeah, but like, so now it's like more human because now he can be hurt and now he knows what it means to be a human being and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, but all like the flying and the punching and the cool shit. That's kind of what I
And the
like
fun
about,
stuff,
yeah.
that's kind of what I like about Superman.
And how would he not know what humanity was since he's only known that since he was raised on Earth his entire existence?
Call
To
me,
apparently very good parents.
call
Yeah.
me crazy. I like it when superheroes can do superhuman things.
Oh no, I agree with
So
you.
it's like
I'm just saying.
when Spider-Man loses his ability to wall crawl or whatever,
no.
it's
And-
like,
yeah,
well,
in the
fucking, why do you
second-
want-
I completely
in the
agree.
why
second
do you
movie,
want- It's just some annoyed dude. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Nice notes.
I will say this though.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm calling it here.
I'm riding the wave.
I'm thinking what's happening in this GD movie is that they might show Beta Ray Bill.
I don't know Beta Ray. I know the name, but I don't know the character.
Beta Ray Bill is probably my favorite superhero character that there's ever been.
Really?
So Beta Ray Bill, if you're listening to this podcast, first of all, fuck you. Second of all,
He's dangerous, folks.
if you're
He's
listening to this podcast, Google Beta Ray Bill. I'll give you a moment to do it, and then we'll catch up. But Beta Ray Bill is my absolute favorite superhero. Essentially what he is there's this weird planet or whatever, group of aliens, and they need a protector, someone to protect their race, essentially, or their species or whatever. And so they're these weird little humanoid things. And what they did is they put all these people through these different trials and tribulations to test them to be the protector. And this one guy, Bill, he gets...
Just Bill.
Bill was his name. His name is Bill. He's an alien. He's a Corbinite alien, but his name is Bill.
All right.
So basically what happens is he wins these trials, these mental trials that he's put through. Everyone else goes insane and dies. He's the only one who doesn't. He becomes the protector. So they take a horse-like animal that is named to the planet. They combine it with technology, a cyborg thing. So he's a giant kind of horseman, right?
Okay.
His consciousness is in this horse cyborg.
So
Right?
Bill's consciousness is
Yeah.
the cyborg horse?
So years later,
Okay.
he meets our boy Thor, right?
All right.
And at the time, the whole thing with Thor is if you're worthy, you can pick up his hammer,
yeah.
become Thor. So he fights Thor, and at the time, Thor had this weird thing where if he was away from his hammer for more than a minute, he turned into a human. So that's what happens. They're fighting, knocks the hammer away, turns into a human. Beta Ray Bill punches him, knocks him out, whatever. So he's like, that was weird. Sees the stick that his hammer turned into. It's like, what is up with this weird weapon that was kicking the shit out of me just a second ago? Picks up the stick, hits it against the wall. Holy shit. Beta Ray Bill is worthy enough to lift the hammer of Thor. So now he's a goddamn horse Thor. He's a horseman who has all the powers of Thor and the appearance of Thor. Like, it's crazy.
Okay.
So basically what happens is he's sent back to Asgard, and they're all like, who the hell are you? He's like, I'm Horse Thor. What's going on? So they have a whole fight between Horse Thor, Beta Ray Bill, and regular Thor about who can lift the hammer. Because who's going to get the hammer? Because they're like, well, technically, that's your hammer now.
Yeah.
But you're not Asgardian. This is weird. So they have a fight. Beta Ray Bill wins. What they end up doing is they give Thor his hammer back, and they give Beta Ray Bill his own hammer called Stormbreaker, which is every bit the equal of Thor's. So he's basically another Thor, but he's a horse Thor, and he fucking rules. God, I've wasted my life.
No, that's awesome.
No, it's not.
But here's
Why do I can't show you where Montana is on a map, but I could tell you everything about Horse Thor.
curious question though.
Not a good life.
But curious question: if Thor lost the hammer, then lost the fight, but they, as guardians, whoever gave it back to them, wouldn't he no longer be worthy of the hammer?
No, because Odin fixed it so that when they
Okay.
fought each other, they fought on a fire planet, and the Corbinites, as you know, come from a predominantly flame planet, so he was able to pick it out in the end.
Okay.
And I can't believe I've had sex. Like, there's moments where like everyone, like I'm sitting around and I'll just go,
I think the answer to this. I think the answer to all of our problems is that we just need to go to Comic-Con together, and you will be the king of the parade,
I just sit around sometimes.
the most
and
dangerous man at Comic-Con.
And I remember, like I sometimes forget that I've ever had sex, and then sometimes I'll just sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, I've had sex before. That was fucking what? That was weird. How did that happen?"
Just the one time, though, right?
Yeah, well, you know,
it was with She-Hulk.
it's
fine.
you know, they say that sex gets better, but I found that it doesn't.
Okay.
You know, sometimes people are like, "Oh, you'll get better at it." I don't think I'm gonna.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
No, that attitude, sir.
But what's the point?
Right. I mean, you already know what's going to happen after.
I
the
know
end.
what's gonna
It's like watching
happen.
Titanic. It's like, I know what's going to happen after this.
I know what's gonna happen.
Just speed it up.
Let's eat a Big Mac. I'm trying to hang out. I don't have work in the morning. I'm gonna eat a Big Mac and not F, because what's the point?
Right. Right.
Oh, hey, come over and have sex with me. How about no? How about you keep your thoughts to yourself? You know?
It's 2 a.m. I'm sad that McDonald's is not open.
I just feel like...
Can you not just trust my feelings?
The one in my house is 24 hours.
You know, it's like how many years have human beings been on this planet? How many years have they been effing? For a while.
3,000 or 4,000 years.
It's not gonna be anything new.
This is 6,000 years.
6,000 years.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Only
like,
after marriage, though.
It's like starting a blues band. What's the point? I've heard this song before, better from someone else. So kick rocks. Let's go do something. Let's go for a walk. You know, the sunset is different every single night. Let's go look at this sunset. Oh no, put your P in my V. No.
No.
I'm not gonna do it. Hey, ladies, I'm not gonna do it. So stop asking. You know, it's like, you know how it is. You guys know how it is. You come home at night, there's so many ladies like, hey, I'm trying to get my V.
Yeah.
You know,
Punched. Yeah, or whatever.
pounded or whatever,
it's called.
whatever they
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Hammed, I think. it's
yeah,
supposed-
and it's like, ladies, you know, I'm an adult and I'm a human being and I have dignity.
I love sunsets and I hate bottle cap collectors.
I have a mother. I'm not doing that to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I respect my mother.
I have a great relationship with my mother. I tell her everything, and I don't want to tell her this.
No. Oh, you think I want to tell my? Oh, Patrick, what's new with you? There's effing chicks. I just want to hear that.
That's what we call it.
It's
Yeah.
Catholic.
Yeah.
The one true religion. You want to have a cult. You know? And so it's like, every time a lady is like, hey, you want to F? I'm like, no, let's go to church. And then we go to church.
Yeah. Church
And
is
it's great. And it's a great afternoon. Then I go home, I do 50 push-ups, and then I cry
like
a little.
a light night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a light night.
Yeah.
You ever do a push-up? It sucks.
It's awful.
It's bad. And it's the fact that
I don't waste any
anyone-
time.
Some fucking fitness nerd at some point was hanging out, and they're like, you know what I need to do? Push the weight of my body up.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
I'm drunk.
I'm drunk. I'm
Feed
trying
to
to
the
get,
toilet, throw up.
I'm trying to get laid.
Eventually. Over time, yeah.
Also, ladies, I'm just kidding. I'm open for business sex-wise.
Let's take another break. We'll come back. Do some shots.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break like
I was telling them before you came out here, you're just going to insult me.
No, we're friends.
I guess.
and the night's new. What a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock. We're here to rock you. It's like, damn, what a vibe.
Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Yeah.
Segment 4. It's a toast segment. It's 12 minutes on the clock. We got some time to hang out here. I'm still here with Dale and with Pat Dean. Pat Dean, you brought is your roommate? Is that what this is?
Former roommate and former friend.
Okay.
Ben
Former.
Cholok. Ben is here. Ben and I host a podcast together about philosophy.
It's
called
I Learned Nothing.
I Learned Nothing.
Oh, it's where Ben tries to explain things to Pat Dean
Yeah.
that he'll never get.
Ben is essentially
Never.
Yeah.
Never will.
Yeah, never will.
You've learned a couple things and then immediately forgotten them.
So basically, yeah, it's Ben is a philosopher from Princeton University.
Okay.
And
Professor of philosophy.
He teaches me. He's a professor. He has tenure. He commutes from Austin. It's crazy.
I have tenure in your living room. That's the only place I have tenure in.
Really.
I've been living there for 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Just because you're less drunk than me and recorded. I'm like, yo, yeah, you have tenure. So
That means I
what
can't be
tenure means.
fired from your
It's
Yeah.
Latin for less drunk. It's Latin for the least drunk in the room.
So old Benny Dos Zapatos here. He teaches me about philosophy every week, and we're having a ball. I'm having a great time. I'm learning things. I forget them immediately as soon as Ben leaves. And I
Perfect.
get mad at myself. I watch a lot of Netflix, so a lot of Planet Earth going on.
yeah, we recently watched the entire Matrix trilogy.
We watched the entire Matrix trilogy together.
Wait,
How does
there
that
was
hold
more
up?
than one? What?
Yeah,
yeah.
You mean just the
Matrix.
first one, right?
Then there's Matrix Reloaded, and
Man,
then Matrix
no.
speaking of
Revolutions.
philosophy major, look at that.
No,
This
shit.
is-
What if
Surely
there
not.
were a sequel to the Matrix?
There are no sequels
But
to the
like,
Matrix.
what if reality was different?
Wait, do I live in a world where there's a trilogy and there actually isn't?
Oh, how
Am
fucked
I
up-
in a Matrix?
Again, you're the philosophy major. Do you?
He has no idea about
Am
this,
I?
the
Are
second
we?
Matrix movie.
Wait, have you really never heard of the second Matrix?
No,
movie?
it's a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're being silly.
Are you
Yeah.
saying because like those two suck? Is that like the joke?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Well, dude, we
They're
we
fever
found
dream
out.
movies. Yeah.
we found out the hard way.
Yeah.
Well, we fucking watched this. We talked about it on the podcast, but we watched all of the Matrix, and then the third Matrix we watched. First of all, I don't think the third Matrix is as bad as everyone makes it out to be.
It really isn't.
It's
It really-
fine. It's
not
dopey.
It's not that
The
bad.
second one is a lot shittier. I will say that.
Yeah, the
See,
first one's good.
we
Yeah.
have no consensus on that because I've asked a lot of people. Some people also agree that the second one is better than the third one.
Yeah.
I think
Well-
both of them are dog shit.
They are both dog shit. I'm just saying.
They are dog shit, but some
Yeah.
dog shit.
But I still
One
like
is
the first
diarrhea,
one.
one is solid. That's
Right.
my
Right, yeah, sure.
as a dog owner,
Yeah.
he speaks from truth.
The consistency of the diarrhea kind of
Right.
tapers
it peters
off.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out. I mean, it's dopey. It's dumb as fuck. But, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's fucking Keanu Reeves karate kicking dudes in the face for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
how could you not like that?
And not ninjas.
And not ninjas. Thank you.
Yep.
But what happened was, we said this on our podcast, but what happened
That's
was
worth it.
we were watching The Matrix 3, and for some weird reason, in the span of 5 minutes, we had 3 different people poke their head into my apartment. I live with like a bunch of like comics live in the same apartment building I live in.
Yep.
So they just like show up. So like in like the span of like 5 minutes, John Rabin, that fucking heroin addict, he sticks his head in. He's
came
like,
in,
he's like, what are you watching?
Started
Matrix?
judging us.
Yeah. Oh,
a heroin addict.
Hey, John. Hey, listen. Hey, raise your hand if you've injected your veins with a needle for drugs. Oh wow, none of us are raising our hands. Fuck you, John. So he shows up. He's like, oh, I'm a drug addict. This movie sucks. And then Chris Cubis shows up.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, on TV, but I'm still poor somehow. This sucks. Nothing makes sense. Like everyone's talking shit to us. I liked the movie.
Yeah. Well, I fell asleep.
Fuck you,
during
John, and fuck you, Chris, and fuck you, Ben. Ben fell asleep.
That's not showing a lot of support for the cause here.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
if
just
the
had some
cause is-
heroin. I don't know.
it. Yeah, man. I tried heroin that day.
Yeah.
You didn't see
was
it, but
the
John
day.
slipped me a bit of heroin. Just took a nice
Since you
nap.
didn't raise your hand, and I hate to consider you a liar. I just
I
met
was
you.
snorted it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So technically,
He's classy.
I also did not inject it. Yeah. I'm classy. Yeah.
You know, it has to be the best, right? Heroin.
That's John.
Oh, it has to
Yeah.
be.
It has to
It
feel
has
so.
to,
People
yeah.
destroy their lives.
Yeah, their whole
John
lives.
Rabin destroyed his life
Yeah.
because of his heroin use. Now he hangs out with me and Ben.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a worse fate.
Man, rock fucking bottom.
Yeah.
This guy opened for
primary
Louis
means of
C.K. back in the
conveyance is
day.
a fucking
Now he's hanging out with me
skateboard.
and Ben.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, sad, right?
Just popping his head into Watch the Matrix. That's where he fell.
He's like
Thanks
Kramer.
heroin.
That is rock bottom.
Yeah.
He's like Kramer, yet somehow less successful than Kramer. That sucks. Fuck you, John.
Let's.
Oh yeah, we're
running
taking
out
a
of time. We have a
shot.
toast.
We're taking a
Pat,
shot.
who are we toasting? What are we toasting?
We're gonna toast to
To heroin.
We're gonna toast to using heroin.
To using heroin.
It must be the best.
Not enabling at all.
Yeah.
Our last show, ladies and gentlemen.
We're drinking heroin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, there's no tequila in this.
Man, that is a talented bartender made those shots. I tasted no alcohol in that,
Yeah,
which
that's-
is
that's
What
Deep
were
Eddie
those?
Lemon.
I didn't have one of these
They're what?
shots.
It's Deep Eddie Lemon.
I believe you.
Yeah.
That's all it is?
Yeah, it's just vodka.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
stuff is so good.
Yeah.
It's super good. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's
There's
refreshing.
certain drinks that are too refreshing. Like Deep Eddy Lemon. Let me ask you something, Ben. You ever mix Deep Eddy lemonade with Deep Eddy sweet tea?
No,
Oh.
like
Dude.
a
That's
like a
an
deep Eddie Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to stick
Deep Eddy
my
Palmer.
dick in it. I love it. It tastes so smooth and amazing. Oh my God.
Want to do a shot of that when we're done?
Later, you and I are going to do that. I'm so glad I didn't drive here. I took a lift.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And after this, what were you going to watch? You're going to watch a movie. You're going to watch...
Oh yeah, we're going to watch Borat.
Borat. Yeah.
Because
You know we're going to be saying my wife like,
That's what we're talking
every
about.
fucking day for the next 3 weeks.
that's what we were saying earlier. Is that I bet that movie holds up really well. I
I'd
bet
love
it's
to
great.
see it again. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Let's
on
watch it
theaters.
tonight, bitch.
All right, bitch.
Yeah, perfect night. Perfect
Yeah.
Saturday.
It's a
for me.
perfect night. Saturday
Slut.
night, the mood's all right.
Yeah.
A couple dudes watching Borat.
Yeah.
All right,
Your
cheers.
original
Yeah,
lyrics.
now we cheers
Oh,
to
yeah.
that.
Cheers to that.
Do you guys believe in ghosts?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Nope.
I don't think I do either.
Fuck no, you don't.
After the three of us said no.
Well, no, the reason
You
that
don't
I
believe the Earth is flat. You don't believe in ghosts. That's
Well, first of all, the Earth is flat. Second of all, ghosts are real.
See,
bitch.
I knew you were a liar.
No, the
Twice.
reason I'm asking is that
Lying slut.
recently somebody on Twitter posted this thing where they were like, I think my apartment's haunted.
Yeah.
And they had a long thread. And it's clearly like he's like a writer. It's clearly a thing he's making up. But so many people were like, I don't know, dude. But like maybe it's real. And you're like, no, this guy.
Wait, look at your
liter-
picture better.
His bio on Twitter says he's a writer. He makes things up.
Oh my God! You know what?
He's a
what's-
long form liar.
What my
At Stephen King on
Josh
Twitter,
Staub
yeah.
told me this fucking interesting thing. He does like a lot of like installing like electrical shit in houses and like
Yeah.
renovated houses, and he told me that there's this thing that happens when in old houses where like the plaster or whatever that's like insulating the place
Yeah.
like starts when it decays, it starts exposing these really old wires.
Yep.
And that kind of electrifies the like area
Yep.
Yeah.
very subtly. But sometimes when you enter a room in a really old house, you get kind of a chill, and that's the electricity that's kind of like being exposed by the wires.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, science.
And he's like, he's like,
Also
that's
good.
what people think when they feel cold and they think it's a ghost. It's actually just exposed wiring.
It's just static cling.
Yeah.
Well, another thing ruined by science.
Yeah.
I'm so
Right?
First
fucking-
Aurora Borealis.
I'm so sick of scientists. Just a bunch of cowards. Oh, how do things work? Why don't you just appreciate it?
I think it's cool because it exposes introduces those people as idiots.
Well, I think it sucks, and I think you're a creep.
Classic
Well, you're not
scientist
lying.
poet over here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why you guys were roommates.
Right.
That's why you're best friends.
We were roommates for
Former
two
friends.
former friends. We lived together for 2.5 years. Remember Alvin, our neighbor?
Yeah. He was 1,000,000 years old.
We lived next to a guy who was so old. He was like at Pearl Harbor when it was attacked. Pearl Harbor was the incident in World War II.
Oh.
Yeah, with
Thank you.
with the Japanese attack.
So
unfortunately.
he had this kind of like Forrest Gump vibe of the way he explained stories, where it came out that he lived this like astoundingly incredible life, but it comes out in these details
So
from
boring.
a really mundane story.
So one time he told us, he just goes, he tells a story. We're like, oh, so you're in World War II, you're at Pearl Harbor. That's crazy. And he was like, one time I was shipwrecked and I was the only survivor and I was holding on to some driftwood. And I said to God, God, you never gave me much of a reason to believe in you, but if you could help me out right now, I'd appreciate it. And then a school of fish came by and started eating my arm. So my grandson's gonna graduate kindergarten soon. You're like, okay, yeah, but what happened with
arms thing?
Like no beat in between two. Like,
So you're like,
yeah.
wait, so what happened with you being wrecked at sea? Well, I washed up on shore and I got shot in the back by a Japanese. There's a lot of dogs in this neighborhood. You're like, no, wait. So what happened to you on the
Stay focused, Alvin. Stay
what happened to you
focused.
on the island? It was a miraculous rescue. You know, they say cats and dogs don't get along, but I've always found the inverse to be true. You're like, would you pick a side? Are you the most interesting person ever, or just the most mundane things ever? I witnessed Kennedy get murdered, and I know who
Yeah,
did
he
it.
had something about how he met LBJ or something.
Yeah.
But that came in after like 20 minutes of him explaining how like there used to be way more mulberry trees in our neighborhood than there used to be. And he's like, then I met Lyndon Baines, old Lyndon Baines. It's like, wait, Johnson?
Lyndon Johnson had a hand in the assassination of JFK. I prefer strawberry pancakes. Alvin, what is this? Alvin ruled. Alvin told us his mother was from some Scandinavia.
Oh, she was a Laplander. She was like someone from like the indigenous people of Finland.
Yeah,
They
and-
like eat reindeer. It's
Yeah.
fucking metal as hell.
she never learned English.
Yeah, she never learned English.
and never taught him her language, so they could not communicate.
That's
Isn't that
romantic.
crazy?
That's romantic as fuck.
Alvin,
Yeah.
Alvin rules.
He might as well have been raised by wolves.
He was insane. And then his weird like daughter and like her husband and their weird grandkid live with him, and his grandchildren just didn't go to school. Like we'd just be hanging out because we were like adult. We're like 25. We moved in there, so it'd be like 1 in the afternoon. We're hanging out on our front porch on a Thursday. We just
Yeah.
look over, just Alvin's grandkids just hanging out in the front lawn, just being kids. It's like, how come you're not in school?
Yeah.
It's October. Rocktober. That's what we called it.
Of course.
And then we had our landlord living behind us who would just let his like toddler just like walk around butt naked.
Yeah.
And he'd wander under our front porch, so we'll be sitting there like smoking or whatever, and this naked kid will just walk up.
Just
We'll
walk
be like,
by.
God damn it.
One day we had a trampoline in our backyard, and one day I woke up. It was like 9 a.m. Hard night of drinking, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get some water, use the bathroom, go back to bed. Just woke up, pissed, and then I walk into the kitchen to get some water, and I kind of like look in our backyard, and at the time our landlord's like 3-year-old son is jumping up and down the trampoline completely nude, not an adult in sight. And I said, fuck this shit, it's too early, and I went back to sleep. Last year I'm telling jokes, right, and I put this thing online like, hey, I'm telling jokes at Austin Java, come on out. So I'm preparing my set, I'm figuring shit out. Our landlord shows up
Yeah.
with his wife and their son, their son is now like 10 or 11 or something.
Yeah, that's really weird.
So
That's
they
really
show
weird.
up and they didn't watch the show or anything. They just showed up because they saw it. They're like, oh, we were in the neighborhood. We just want to say hello. And I was like, holy shit, it's so great to see you.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. We talked, and this kid is there not saying a word. And the whole time I'm just like, I've seen every inch of your body. I've seen you nude so many times. Nude.
It swung at me once.
So many times, I didn't know what to say. Like in my head, I'm like, do I tell him that I've seen his balls? Like,
No.
what do I do?
No,
I didn't.
No, you don't.
You go
I
to
stayed
jail for
silent.
that.
Yeah,
You don't say, you go to
That was
jail.
smart.
For what?
For seeing his balls.
He should go to jail showing his balls to me. I'm a red-blooded American male trying to enjoy
so
my
is he.
evening.
You saw
and all
it.
of a sudden, there's some little kid running around, dick swinging all over the place. Oh, he should go to jail. He should go to kid jail, nude jail.
You don't go to jail unless you tell someone about it. That's the problem. Everyone who gets caught
Yeah.
for sexual predator or like for child porn, they just tell someone.
Well,
They tell a priest.
Yeah, so you
or-
just told everyone right now.
I don't like that
Yeah.
I'm being grouped in with these sexual predators. I'm literally just sitting in my porch, and his son shows up nude.
Well, when you wish for something hard enough.
That is a good point.
yeah,
We did a lot of
self-fulfilling prophecy.
We did a lot of blood rituals on Jeff Davis Avenue where we lived.
We run out of time. I want to thank Pat Dean for coming and hanging out with us so much.
We didn't take any calls.
The most
Yeah.
dangerous comedian.
Well, we
in
actually
Austin.
had one text that
Who?
came through. I don't know who it is.
What'd they say?
The text said, "Pat, when was the last time you washed your sheets?" We had a phone call, but
Whoa.
we can't listen to the phone call because the amp stopped working after
Well,
5 years.
Well, to answer that question, I don't have sheets. I've never seen the point.
Perfect.
The end.
Okay.
All right.
Tight.
Well, thank you so much for that text.
You put sheets on your bed? Oh, okay, King George. Oh, sorry, us common people can't afford sheets.
So, in your world, are like sheets the underwear of beds?
Which means he can't afford underwear either.
What's the point?
In some
he'll
respects,
say to his mirror.
in the sense that I have taken a shit in every pair of sheets I've ever had, then yes, they are.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
And on that note,
I poo my pants. Big deal.
Puma
Yeah,
sheets.
Who cares? Who cares? Pat, where are we going to see you in the next couple of weeks? Where are we going to find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at Pat Dean. I got a bunch of shows coming up, so just find me or friend me on Facebook. I put the shows on there. We write jokes on there. That's where you'll find me. Spike Club on Thursday, 11 o'clock at the Valve. Come on out to that. Ben and I have a podcast. I Learned Nothing.
I learned nothing.
It's about philosophy. It's a great time. We have a great time
A
together.
philosophy podcast for idiots.
It saved our friendship.
Sure.
It did save our friendship. We are now current friends.
And Ben, where can we find you online?
Oh, my Twitter is at gristleporn. That's GRISTLEPORN.
Cool.
And the podcast has a. I'll just promote the podcast, I guess. 'Cause
Yes.
I don't have any shows coming up.
You have nothing.
I have nothing. Podcast. You can find us at I Learned Nothing.
But you have a podcast.
I do have a podcast.
You have a podcast.
Yeah.
hmm And yeah, we're on Facebook too, and also Instagram. I Learned Nothing podcast.
It's
And we got a
number-
website, ilearnednothing.com.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it has our bios on it.
That has our bios.
It's number
Lengthy
one.
bios,
A lot of it's actually number one in the nation right now.
Number
bios
one.
are?
It's the highest rated podcast in America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
listen to it. If you want to learn something, you fuck.
Yeah, the
or
Nietzsche
learn
episode
nothing,
is up now.
right?
We have
Or
some
nothing.
great stuff. We have some cool stuff coming up. We learn about philosophy. You know?
Do you?
Yeah.
I
I
do.
tried.
Name says you don't, so I'm just
Well,
saying.
that's a good point, actually.
I set a low bar, so that way we can
low
always
bar
be
is literally nothing.
yeah.
Maybe someone else will learn about philosophy. So
Yeah. So check
yeah,
it out and
yeah.
fuck you.
And fuck
Bitch.
it. Yeah. Pat, thanks for coming and hang out with us, man.
Thank you for having me, and
Yeah.
thank you for having Ben.
Welcome
and I
anytime, Ben.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much for
Yeah, thanks,
including me
bud.
here
Yeah,
in the
like
last
doing
few
a thing.
minutes here.
You
Dylan,
ordered
thanks for helping me.
pizza.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me run the show.
Absolutely.
If you like the show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. That's drunkcastlive.com. You can sign up for a newsletter where we send you some extra bits, things that we don't put in the podcast blog thing.
Yeah.
We have a Chris Lloyd, we have a friend who goes through and listens to and puts an extra little like adjacent stuff. And so the newsletter is actually pretty worth it. Cool. It's fun. You can go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive or at drunkcastlive on Twitter. We're at drunkcastlive PICS. That's drunkcastlive pics on Instagram. No Snapchat for us yet because I still think that's stupid no matter what JC says. Sorry, JC.
Fuck you, JC.
Thank you. Questions at drunkcastlive.com or 802-359-SHOT, 802-359-7468. That's a phone number where you can text or call. Leave us some questions and do the thing, and we can do some stuff. And eventually we'll listen to whatever Chris Lloyd sent us because we can't hear it. Once I get a new thing. I think that's... Oh, iTunes Store, for sure. iTunes Store. Pat, I asked you to do the same thing that I've asked anyone else to do.
Yes.
If you would like to go to the iTunes Store and find us, just pretend it's a Yelp page for maybe the worst restaurant you've ever been to.
I'm gonna write a 5-star review, and I'm gonna say
Write a
book
5-star
Pat
review
Dean again.
about how great you were on the show.
I was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
And let me say
I didn't want
this.
to tell you because I was worried about, I know you have crippling self-depression.
I
so.
do, but let me say this.
Self-depression.
Self-depression. I might start calling it self-depression. Got a crippling case of self-depression. And let me say this. God bless the United States of America. And God bless
Or
everyone.
beautiful or spacious sky.
Take us out, Pat.
I don't
Keep
know the rest.
singing.
I don't know the rest of that song. I honestly don't.
I don't either. You know what? America's not that great anymore. We realized
Apparently
it
not.
just now.
Can't remember.
Because of you.
Can't remember a
Ben.
song.
Because 2
Well,
lines.
write a catchier song. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Also, hail Satan. The earth is flat. And Scientology rules.
iTunes, Stitcher Store, you go to Google Play Store. You can find us anywhere where you can find podcasts at all,
Yes.
anytime podcast app or whatever. Go do a thing and rate us up and do some stuff with us, and we will be be better. And that's it. I love you. We're Travis. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Fuck you. No, what's the possibly impact from that statement, you know? I'm just a well-adjusted, cool American boy. Oh, sorry. Sorry about it.
Content pending.